professional development, trying to learn strategies to be more effective and to connect and engage better with our kids. So that's what we're trying to do. So that's absolutely true. Hey, we advertise. Welcome everybody. It's 2 o'clock. I'm Steve Spangler. I'll put on my 9 News hat, your science guy from Steve Spangler. I've been with 9 News now for 20 years. Doing science experiments, and so if you want to see some of those along the way, you can go to our YouTube page at youtube.com/SpanglerScienceTV, or of course head over to 9news.com and look at their video library as well. They're kind enough to give us today's slot, so thank you to our meteorologists Danielle Grant and Becky Ditchfield and Kylie Burst for giving me the opportunity to kind of jump in here. I have 3 really cool things for you today, and something I've never ever shown yet, and so it's a little experimental, but I think it could be kind of fun. So welcome everybody. Hey, here is our challenge. In fact, while you're just kind of perusing the materials here, let me go over here and grab this real fast. You can kind of see why we have kind of a dedicated area, because everything is just always a mess along the way. I want to show you something that's kind of cool. We're going to start with a balloon. Now you could use any of these kinds of balloons that you see here. I'm going to use this clear one so you can kind of see what's happening, but you can see that we have some colored balloons as well. So here we go. Blow up the balloon. Got it. We want to learn something about the science of a balloon. A balloon, I figured this was kind of fitting. A balloon is volatile. A balloon is under a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. I think you can kind of make the correlation with what some of us are going through right now. And that balloon is susceptible to popping if we're not careful. A little too much pressure at the right point and the balloon will pop. In fact, a balloon's worst enemy has to be a sharp object. It could be, I guess, a knife, but that's not sharp enough. Now, how about, oh, this looks good. How about a skewer? That's it. Here is our skewer. Some of you online right now are going, oh, I know where he's going. And yes, I do know that you know, but I do have a little twist for you, all right? So what would happen if we take the skewer and we just kind of put it right through the balloon? There's just air inside, no problem at all. All right, here we go. No problem at all. A skewer through the balloon with Higgins, how many times do you back up? I mean, you're a little fraidy cat back there, aren't you? Of course it pops. It's under a lot of pressure. Let's go back and take a look at this. Let's look at the science of that same balloon once again, but let's take a look at it maybe in a different way. Notice how I drew some dots on this one here. I took a Sharpie pen and I just put some dots. I tried to keep them about the same size, and I blew up, or put the dots on them this way. Now, you wouldn't see this when you do this. This looks like just blowing up a balloon, right? No problem at all. But believe it or not, the balloon has different amounts of stress all over the rubber that's here, this polymer here, this latex that's here. Let's see if you can see it. Watch. Notice how all the dots that started the same size are no longer the same size. Look at these. They are huge. That means that that was under a tremendous amount of stress, right? The balloon is really stretching here, but notice here, those are about the same size as they were at the very beginning. That's the secret to what we're going to do today. So we take the balloon, we blow it up, not too big, and now remembering that the middle is where the greatest amount of stress is. The middle is where the stress is. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, something sharp. Now I'm just using these little cooking skewers that you found at the store. You might even have some in the pantry. But let me tell you the secret in what I did with the cooking skewer is I took a piece of sandpaper. So see the sandpaper? And look at this. I simply, sorry for the dry hands, got it? It's called lots of washing, right? Back and forth until we get a really nice point on it. Got it? So that's number 1. And the second part that I think works well is, that's why I had to go over and try to grab this real fast, is just a little bit of cooking oil. So I'll dip it down into a little bit of cooking oil. I just need a little bit, so not a lot. That should be just fine. Okay? So I just need a little bit there. Now watch what happens. Now let's see if we can do a little surgery. So the object is to decide where you're going to enter the problem, right? So if this is the problem, I don't want to go at the problem where the greatest amount of stress is. I need to attack the problem where there's just a little bit less stress. The end is a good place. We know that that's a good place. So let's see if that actually works. So I just don't need that much oil. So here, let me wipe this off just a little bit. All right, so now watch. If I enter right here, here we go. Scary part. Oh, look at this. You could tell that Higgins was not afraid. You just have to have an exit strategy. Look, oh, there, that looks pretty good. Look at this. Let me see if we get a little exit here. Oh, come on. Oh, there it is there. Look at this, the skewer through the balloon. All right, so what does this teach us? It teaches us that even a volatile situation, so let's now, you know the science. It's a polymer. We had the greatest amount of stress here. We went through the least amount of stress. We actually were doing a little bit of surgery to these long chains of molecules. So think of your fingers as that latex. You just went in between those long chains of molecules. If they're really stretched out like this, easy to pop. But when they're close together, easy to sneak through. But the second thing that I think was great is we had a strategy and a plan. It means that we attack the problem in the least amount of stress. We came out here, so I was able to get into a volatile situation, have a plan, come all the way through and come out, and now watch this, and no popping at all. Now we're going to lose a little air because there's holes there in the end, but that is a cool way to be able to do the needle through the balloon. And I like the metaphor that's there as well. The idea that we're in a volatile situation, we have to examine it very carefully, and that's what all this social distancing was about, right? We had to have a plan. We put a plan in place. People follow the plan. We're starting to see some pretty good results come from that plan. Well, that's one that I've done for years and years and years. But here's the variation. Ready? Anytime I bring out the bucket, you know there's going to be a problem, right? So here is the bucket. And what if we could do the same thing, but this time, why don't we do it with, that's right, a water balloon. That's a great, Higgins, great idea. This is your equipment, isn't it? This is your, yeah, sorry about it. Yeah, brilliant idea. All right, well, the question is, could you do the skewer through the balloon trick with a water balloon? So I took the same balloon, I filled it up with water, and so now let's see. It looks like this is less of a stress point, and that's less of a stress point. So let's see if we can actually do this. So watch this as it comes through. Here we go. Come on, you could do it. Oh, look at that. The skewer through the balloon works with a water balloon. I just have to be careful here. Ah, look at that. You can do it. You thought you could do it with just air, but you can do it through a water balloon. So when you get back to school, possibly next year, I think like a teacher sitting on a chair and you doing this over his or her head as a demonstration of trust is a great idea. It's a fantastic idea. Look at that. So it still works with air and with water. Now watch, here's the problem. Watch this. If I pull it out like this, oh, look at this. Now we have a leak. There's no way, like we got a leak here. That one there was pretty nice. Yeah, look at this. You got a leak here. And of course, you've got a leak here. And, well, here, if I go this way, I got water everywhere. All right. I have another one. Here, take a look at this one. This one's not clear, so this one's red. Let's see if I can do the same thing. Ready? Skewer through the balloon. There's water inside. Can you see the water inside? You see it? There's water. All right, so here we go. Skewer through the balloon. So through it like this and out this end right here. Can't really see it. Not bad. Okay? So now you know it's going to leak. So watch. Let me pull it out like this. And let's watch this. Look at this. Here it goes, and here it goes. We stopped it. We stopped the leak. How in the world could I put a skewer through a water balloon and stop the leak? Look, we really did. We stopped the leak. There's a little drip, but it's not bad. And a little drip right here, not bad. What is inside the balloon that could stop the leak? All right, so that's the question. If it's interactive today and you're on and you can type something, what is inside the balloon that could possibly stop the leak? This is the one that I've never really done before. I've done because it's a great one. It's from my good friend Bruce Yaney, who shared it with me. But we stopped popped the leak again. Wait, let me see if I can stop the leak. I think I did. Look at that. What is inside that balloon? Okay, Higgins, do we have any ideas? Any ideas at all?
Right now, people are saying pressure, maybe air.
Could be air. Could be, but air would make it leak. This is a trick that the origin comes from Bruce Yaney, who's a good friend, a good science guy, said that if you went to a shady gas station years and years and years ago and you had a leak in your radiator, they would sometimes fix the radiator by putting this stuff in your radiator, collect your money and send you down the road, but it would just be bad later on. You won't believe what the secret is. Look at this. The secret is right back here. It's oatmeal. That's the secret, is oatmeal. Let me show you how I did this. What's blocking the hole right now, look at this, I gotta go this way, Higgins, I almost got you. What's blocking the hole, look at this right in here, is a piece of oatmeal that's blocking the hole. So let me show you what I stuck in there. This one's pretty good. It seems to be lodged in place. This one has a pretty big hole right there, but it's doing a little bit better. So here's what I did. Let me show you with the clear balloon here, is that I took the balloon, and I found this funnel, and so I'm gonna put this over here like this. So the balloon's on the funnel like this, and then I'm just gonna put a little bit of oatmeal inside. So this is this instant oatmeal, and if you just pull down like this, it's kind of like your esophagus. It's just working the food down inside there like that. Looking good. I think that that's enough. All right. Now, the part that I don't know for sure is how long you have to let it sit. I think I started these about a half an hour ago. So there it is. That's inside. And then I put it over the faucet and I made my water balloon so that you can see what's happening. Here is the clear one. Got it? So can you see the oatmeal that's inside? Here, let me shake it up. Can you see the oatmeal inside? Can you see that, Higgs?
Yep.
Okay, so now watch what happens. This is good. That's still there. So that's looking good. All right, so now you have to do the classic skewer through the balloon. So I'm going to go in here, poke it, have it come out this side over here. Good. And that should come on. Got it? So now, when you take it out, it's going to leak unless, watch this, as it leaks like this, you turn and you allow the oatmeal to seal the hole. Look at that. And then on this end here, you tip it over and you allow the oatmeal to seal the hole. You did the balloon, the skewer through the balloon, through a water balloon, pull it back out again, and it doesn't leak. As long as you don't squeeze it a lot, this is totally amazing. Now, if they can see the oatmeal inside, nothing. So my suggestion is you get a good balloon like this where you can't see it necessarily inside. I think you got a really cool science magic trick. What a great, clever way to be able to seal the hole. When we talk about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, I think it's really cool to be able to say engineering means to be creative and to come up with as a design solution. And it's a pretty darn good solution. What a simple way to be able to plug that hole that's right there. This one is even better than the red one that we had before, but even between those two, I think they're fantastic. Okay? Higgins, I got you a little bit, there's a little bit of water everywhere. Comments from people? What are people thinking?
There were a lot of good guesses. People were saying, somebody said that their grandpa used to use black pepper to fix radiators.
Oh, you're kidding.
Stop the leaks, yeah. I said he used to use black pepper.
Kidding, wow.
And then there were some people along the way asking why oats.
Oh, well, here, look at this. Ready? Come down here and look at this. Because the oats will swell, so that's what it looks like inside. So the oats swell up when they get wet, and so they swell up. They are heavier than the water, so they sink to the bottom there, and they plug the hole. And as they plug the hole, then the other ones swell around them. And again, a temporary fix. It's not a permanent fix. And honestly, it may not even be shady people. Maybe it was something to get you from one place to the next. I don't know. But at least the way the story was kind of shared with me. So what a cool way to be able to do it. All right, let me, since we're on this water theme, take a look at this. Let's use a zipper lock bag. All right, so for this one, you're going to need a zipper lock bag. And we'll need some water as well. So the water goes in like this. Good. And now you know where we're going. You might even want to start with something like this because this might be a little bit more believable than the balloon. People just, anything close, anything sharp around a balloon, you know it's going to pop. But is there any way, I could probably put a skewer through a balloon, through the bag. Probably could do that, knowing that, again, just like the balloon, sealing back around the, that latex sealing back around the skewer, it would work. But what about something like that? What about pencils? How about pencils through the bag. How about, oh, I know it's that time of year that we'd be talking about school spirit, end of the year, some pep assembly, all the cool things that are happening. So how about a little school spirit, if you know what I mean. All right, here's our pencil. Watch this. 3, 2, 1. Looking good. Look at that. Pencil through the bag. Now notice what's happening is that it's sealing back around. I can even go slowly. So here it is slow on the other side. But as you know, you can't pull these pencils back out again. Oh, you can, but that's going to be a mess, right? So you are going to have a little bit of a mess, but tell me that that doesn't look cool. Your homework assignment for our Facebook Live is to do one of these experiments, take a picture of it, take a little video of it with permission from mom and dad, and to be able to post it on our Facebook page. If you're joining us on Instagram, over there at instagram.com/Steve Spangler, on the 9 News Facebook page, which would be fantastic for you to post to as well. All right, here's another good one here. Would you look at this? So a cool one to be able to do, the pencils. Uh-oh, I got too close. Look at this. See how I got too close over here, and now it's starting to pull? Well, this is the problem. You could either try to solidify the water. So the challenge would be, could I pull the pencils back out again without the water leaking? A couple things you could probably do. We could either solidify it. You could make a solution of Jell-O, I guess, and just put it in the refrigerator until it gels and then pull them out. Remember, you're being creative. Could probably freeze it, but I don't know how you'd pull the pencils back out again. Could maybe use some of that diaper polymer gel. That's kind of cool. Or you can just do this and watch them leak everywhere. But a cool way to be able to do it, I would want you to test different types of pencils and different types of bags. So why did I pick these pencils specifically? Why are those important? And why didn't I use another kind of pencil that you might have been familiar with? Why would I have picked these pencils specifically? Any ideas? Higgs, any ideas coming in? Why would I have picked these pencils? There is something special. I did sharpen them. I didn't have to put the oil.
Make sure they're super sharp.
Super sharp, got it. So that's kind of what we did, but there is something else about this pencil here that works super well. Oh, I know, and I know there's a delay. So it's like one of those where I know that you're typing in, and we're waiting for the delay. That should give it away right there, perfectly.
Somebody said the pencils have a coating on them.
They do, and it's smooth. It's perfectly smooth.
Somebody said it's smooth and they're rounded.
Absolutely, that's the perfect answer. Perfectly smooth and rounded, so that when we're going through the bag like this, it doesn't leave any gaps. So again, as we're going through, it gives you a nice clean hole all the way through the bag, and you've got it. So if I was doing a little science show over the weekend, I'd start with this. It's going to be messy. And then I would do the skewer through the balloon. Everybody's amazed. Then I'd do the skewer through the water balloon. Amazed. And then reach over and pull out this gem and say, but I'll bet you I can put the skewer through the water balloon and it pops. Now, the first time you do it, when you do the skewer through the water balloon, pull it back out again and then just reach over and pop it. So it kind of goes, that's good, because that's the convincer. Now you're a magician. And then the second one you pull out, well, that's the one with the oatmeal inside, and that will be a great little closer for you for your little science magic show. All right, Higgins, anything before we do our finale? Because I do have something fun for you for the finale that's going to require your kitchen.
John and Teresa said they did the balloon and pencils this week with the 6th grade Zoom meeting.
Oh, that's fantastic. In fact, for our teachers who are watching, love to have you pick up some of the demonstrations and share them with your kids. Of course, we made that page available for you as well, where you can pick up some of those experiments if you want to. So a couple places. But if you go to makingsciencefun.com, you'll go to our experiment page that has all of the videos and everything that you'll see there. So that's kind of fun. We trade those out every single week. If you go to stevespanglerscience.com/experiments, you'll see our 50 experiments for 50 days, and that's another resource as well. So somebody will put those, I'm sure, in the links that are there. But makingsciencefun.com will take you to the videos and some cool things if you missed our Facebook Live on Wednesday, for you to be able to see that we did on Wednesday. Some of those experiments are there. All right, are you ready for the big finale? The big finale. All right, here we go. Big finale. I think it's so cool because it has a fun story that kind of goes along with it as well. You know, in a day and age when this is the soap of choice anymore, it's a pump, right? And you refill it and whatever. But a long time ago, we didn't have these. We had, somebody's yelling borax. You're right. We had borax. I know that we had that powder that you put in there. We had something else. We had bars of soap. You would go and buy bars of soap. and you got your favorite bar of soap. The green one, the blue one, the white, whatever it might be. But something special happened with this soap right here. And in fact, let me let you take a look at it. That's the brand that we're using, is Ivory Soap. As the story goes, the person who was in charge of making a batch of Ivory Soap wanted to go on lunch break or a break or whatever it was, and so the big vat that he was manning in the factory that was churning it around and mixing it around, he thought, I'll just leave it, it'll be okay. Went to lunch, came back, noticed it had overfilled that container. And it was overflowing, and nobody added anything else, but they had whipped some air inside, I guess. And so he got double the amount of soap by just putting air into it. So from a company standpoint, you can think that's probably pretty good. Let's see if this soap behaves any differently. Now, I tried to find in my house, without going out to the store, a regular bar of soap, and I couldn't find one, but leave it to a science guy, of course, to have Ivory Soap. And if it's old Ivory Soap, it's not as good as the fresher stuff, and it might be a little bit hard to find it. But watch, Ivory Soap is the soap that floats. So because they whipped air into it, Ivory Soap is the soap that floats, and they kind of use that as a branding thing or a marketing thing. So it's kind of cool. Regular bars of soap sink, but in the bathtub, I guess, if you're taking a bath and you drop, and all of a sudden the soap floats to the surface, how great is that? Well, why? Because they whipped some air into it. So what would that look like? So here, take a look at this. Here is our soap, like this. If we were to cut the soap open with a knife, let's take a look and see. And let's see if we get a little bit here. Nice, a little bit here. Can you see little pockets of air inside? Probably not, except for the little places here that kind of broke naturally. See where it's really kind of rough on the surface? Those are little pockets of air. Very, very small, but there's a lot of them. So that those pockets of air allow you to be able to make it float. But there is something else you probably need to do. And so the idea is this: you have to have permission to do this, all right? So you've got to promise me right now. Remember I said don't try this at home, try it at a friend's home. Well, you can't. You're quarantined. You got to stay home. So this, you've got to engage mom and dad. Got it? So just ask mom and dad. Here's what we're going to do. I took 2 of those pieces, 2 of the 4 pieces. It's time for a little microwave action. Come on over. Feel like Mr. Rogers. Come on in. Come on in. All right, over here. Stop it. And this goes here. All right. So it's here. Go ahead, Higgins. Ask me how long.
How long, Steve?
I don't know. About, let's do a minute, all right? So let's do a minute in here and go. Now, it's going to be hard to see inside, especially the light on the camera and everything else. But here's what's happening inside, is that you're heating up the soap. And as you heat up the soap, that little pockets of air inside, a gas, right? So the air that's inside, those pockets of gas are now expanding. Hot air takes up more room than cold air. So they're starting to expand. As it expands, it pushes the soap. So you can either flop the soap over to the side, or something cool could be happening inside. I think something cool is happening inside. Now, about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. But if you were here right now, you could smell. Oh, I'm not going to even let you peek. But oh no, now, oh, you're seeing something. It's giving part of it away. Look at this. It's going 15 seconds away, and you'll see this is just half of this. You understand I could not do this at my house. There's no, and you're cleaning the microwave every time, but this is a good thing because maybe you'll want to clean the microwave. All right, it's coming around again. 3, 2, 1, and it's done. Bam! Look at this. It's our souffle. Would you look at that? Now, here's my experience, is if it deflates like this, you got to put it back in and cook it for just a little bit longer. It'll puff it back up again. While we're doing that, let me let it go for a little bit longer. And now watch this. I did this one earlier for you. Look at this. Head back, Higgs, and we'll show. Look at this. There's your light. Look. This is the full bar of soap, and it's puffy like a cloud. So we didn't ruin the soap. We didn't waste the soap. Nothing at all. You simply made this puffy cloud, which is fantastic. It's all there. You can find these little pieces. So now you can just peel off a little piece, Send it back with family members. Of course you could color it. I know you're screaming right now, could you add food coloring? Of course. What would you do? You'd take the little pieces, put them there, put a little drop of food coloring on each one, cook it away, and see what happens with it. But just a little bit longer will give you some good results. Oh, see, I told you. Just a little bit longer. If it deflates too early, now you have to be careful because it's warm to the touch right now. But this was just these two little pieces here. You double that and you get this amazing amount. And what a cool way to be able to do that. It's the soap that floats, kind of a cool little invention. Ivory Soap. You could try another soap, but Ivory Soap is the soap that floats. If there's another one that floats, that means that there's air inside. It's a possibility. Not wasting anything. You're just changing the soap, and it could be kind of cool for this upcoming weekend. Make it really, really colorful, if you know what I mean. Higgins, there's got to be some questions out there.
They were asking if Irish Spring would work.
No.
Somebody said, did you put it on 30 seconds or 1 minute?
This one here went for about a minute and a half. So I can tell you about a minute and a half or so. If you open the door and it deflates too quickly, it means it needs to be a little bit longer. So quickly shut the door, give it another 30 seconds. But now I had to cook enough of the moisture out of it that it becomes a little bit more rigid. So look at that. You can see how fluffy that is. It's fantastic. A little bit of food, oh it is, it's really fluffy. A little bit of food coloring and that will be amazing. It's clouds of soap. You're gonna need the microwave, you're gonna need some Ivory Soap, but I'd love to see your pictures. Again, your homework assignment is to pick something that we did today. I want you to try it with a family. The whole idea is to engage. When you get somebody else engaged with your science experiment, they're gonna come up with ideas, and then you're gonna say, well, what if, and the next thing you know, you're gonna come up with your own idea, and that's what I want you to be able to post, which I think is kind of fun.
Somebody wants to know what happens if you put this in the water.
Oh, very nice. Thank you for doing that. It seems like these Facebook Lives are what if, right? And it always turns to you, and what if you put Mentos and Diet Coke together? So what if this goes in the water? Of course it floats with no problem at all, but it dissolves quickly as well. So it's kind of cool, I would think, to be able to take a bath with or to hit the shower with it or something like that. It's kind of, it's cool to see how that whole thing works.
Somebody asks, is it sticky?
No, it's not sticky, especially if you pull it out too soon, then all of a sudden you need to cook it a little bit longer there. So just a little bit longer and that will work nicely. But look, it looks like a little bathtub, Higgs, a little ready for a bath. Well, not me, but somebody's ready for a bath. Experiments that you saw today, some of those came from our book called 10-Minute Science Experiments, and so that's what it is, 10-Minute Science Experiments. I've put a free preview for you to see if you want to, and you head over online. So you can do it a couple different ways. If you head over to makingsciencefun.com and take a look at that, you can do that. Or if you take a look at stevespangler.com, and I can find my little cursor here, you can see it's heavy graphics. We're over at stevespangler.com, and if you come down here under latest book, bingo, you will go to our book, our 10-Minute Science Experiment book, and that's where you're going to get your download, your free preview. And if you'd like to see some of those cool experiments, they're easy for you to do. Download the free preview, or if you'd like to have the book, we'd love to do that as well. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us for our Facebook Live. For the person who asked, I said about 25 minutes. I'm 3 minutes over. Thanks to everybody at 9news.com and our Facebook page that were joining us, all of our Denver people that were joining us. Love to have you leave a comment. If you enjoyed today's Facebook and you've got some ideas for our new Facebook Live for next week, let me know. If you have some favorite experiments and you've been a viewer for a while, let me know. This is a chance for me to be able to pull it together and give me some homework over the weekend. So I would love that. Love to have your comments. Love to have your likes on the page. Thanks for your support and encouragement. Remember, together we're going to get through this. There's some pretty good times ahead. Thanks for doing what we need to do. That social distancing. We're going to get better, and we'll be out better than ever. Thanks, everybody.
And one last thing, can you say hi to Dominica and Aria?
Dominica and Aria, I think you've posted like 59 times. Yes, hello to Dominica and Aria. You specifically have been called out and challenged to do one of these things and to post it on the Facebook page. Set, homework, go.